Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are jumping right into an explainer that breaks down an event of just massive scale and, honestly, absolute unpredictability. I'm talking about the 2026 World Cup. Co-hosted by the US, Canada, and Mexico, this tournament has literally rewritten the rulebook of global football. We're looking at a 39-day spectacle that is pushing players to their absolute physical limits. So, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the sheer volume of games and the crazy upsets we've already witnessed, well, you're in the right place.
104. That is the total number of matches in this year's tournament. Just to put that into perspective for a second, past tournaments capped out at 64 matches. So this massive jump, it's absolute proof that this is no longer your traditional World Cup. It's a grueling, wildly unpredictable marathon that is catching some of the sport's biggest heavyweights completely off guard.
Okay, let's dive right into our step-by-step survival guide to make sense of this new format. We're going to cover 1. The 48-team marathon. 2. The ultimate test of endurance. 3. The rise of the underdogs. 4. Navigating the new knockouts. And finally, 5. A quick Taiwan viewing guide so you don't miss a thing.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the 48-team marathon. The sheer scale of this change is just staggering. We're shifting from the classic 32 teams and 64 matches, where it only took 7 games to be crowned champion, to a massive 48-team format spanning those 104 matches. Crucially, the path to the trophy is longer than it's ever been. To win it all now, a team actually has to survive a grueling 8-game marathon. And as you can imagine, that places a massive, massive new burden on squad depth and stamina. Which brings us to Section 2, the ultimate test of endurance. You know, the vast geography of the 3 host nations is basically acting as a brutal, invisible opponent out there on the pitch. Think about it. A team might play one match in Mexico, literally struggling to breathe in the thin air of a high-altitude stadium, right? And then they have to take a massive cross-continent flight to the US East Coast for their very next match, suddenly battling this oppressive heat and humidity. Throw in 4 different time zones and, well, you begin to understand exactly why some of the traditional European and South American giants are really struggling to keep up. Let's move on to Section 3, the rise of the underdogs.
This expanded tournament has radically shifted the geopolitical map of global football, heavily favoring teams from Asia, Africa, and beyond. I mean, just look at the upsets. In the round of 16, 5-time champion Brazil was actually sent packing in a 2-1 defeat by Norway, with Erling Haaland finding the back of the net twice. Unbelievable. And in the round of 32, we saw Germany completely stunned by Paraguay, losing 4-3 in a penalty shootout. And the Netherlands? Yeah, they met the exact same fate against Morocco, losing 3-2 on penalties. This chaos is acting as the ultimate equalizer.
But perhaps the absolute best story of the tournament so far is Cape Verde. Guys, this is a nation with a population of less than 600,000 people, yet they went completely undefeated in Group H, drawing against massive footballing nations like Spain and Uruguay. And when they reached the brand new round of 32, they didn't just roll over, no way. They took the defending champions, Argentina, and Lionel Messi all the way to extra time before narrowly losing 3-2. It perfectly proves the absolute magic of this expanded format.
All right, Section 4, navigating the new knockouts.
So step 1 was the group stage, which gave us 12 groups of 4 teams, where the top 2 automatically secured their spot. Pretty standard stuff. But step 2 is where the expansion really shows itself, the wild cards. 8 additional teams actually advanced to join those top 2 finishers, and all of this funnels into step 3, the unprecedented 32-team sudden death bracket. With that extra knockout round added in, the crippling anxiety of a single elimination game begins so much earlier for these squads.
This best third-place teams rule entirely changed the dynamic of the early tournament. It basically dictates that the 8 teams, out of the 12 groups, with the highest points among third-place finishers are granted a wildcard entry. And this, right here, is exactly why every single group stage match became a frantic do-or-die calculation. Teams weren't just playing to win, they were fighting tooth and nail for every single goal and every single point as a potential lifeline to stay in the tournament.
Finally, Section 5, the Taiwan Viewing Guide. If you're local and want to make sure you have access to all 104 matches from start to finish, you basically have 2 primary options. You can use LTTV via mod or Hami Video if you prefer streaming on your mobile devices. Now, if you're relying on traditional cable or wireless television, TTB and EBC definitely have you covered. But just keep in mind, they are offering coverage of select key matches, not the full 104-game slate. So just match your platform to your viewing appetite. So what does this all mean? Well, it brings us to the ultimate question we are all asking right now. Who truly has the stamina to survive this unprecedented 104-match marathon? We've already seen the traditional map of global football completely rewritten, and we've witnessed the devastating impact of geography and sheer exhaustion. As we dive deeper into this sudden death bracket, the unpredictability is only going to scale up. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes on the pitch, and let's see who is left standing when the final whistle blows.